Just cause issues, or you just have to
No, I'm just here to take pictures and that's all. As I said, I've just noticed as I was walking down to take pictures, your colleague's window was open, I could see the screen, made them aware of it.
Okay, that's, have they sorted that?
Yeah, they closed the window,
okay.
Fine. Yeah, it's so simple as that.
Cool. Okay, I'm sure we're not here to cause you a problem. I'm sure you're not here to cause a problem. We're just,
you know, your colleagues not in uniform refuse to identify while engaging in a policing activity. Not fantastic, is it? It's against policy. You are required to identify. You're engaging in a stop and account. You are required to identify. Because if I have any complaints, how am I supposed to make that complaint if you haven't kept yourself to the accountability standards that the force requires? So, you know, again, you refuse to identify properly because, again, you don't know that I can read, so you're refusing to identify properly. Yes, you're in uniform, but again, if I want to make a complaint against you...
You can give the time and date and where the location where you are. My body cam's recording, so
oh, is it?
It can all be...
How come it's taken you this long to let me know that your body cam's recording?
Talking.
And is the policy not to, at the first, most practical opportunity to allow that?
That was the most practical time to inform you.
Was it? So, because you come in and gone hands-on with me?
I haven't gone hands-on.
Exactly, so why is not the first thing that you say, good afternoon or morning?
What you're doing, because that's the first question I asked you, and then we've had a conversation, and now I've told you.
Yeah, but the first most practical opportunity is to say, good, by the way, you are being recorded.
Okay.
Otherwise, you could be covertly recording me under the Regulations of Investigatory Powers Act, couldn't you?
Alright guys, here we go. A simple question kicks this off. Is this even a restricted area? No signs, no warnings, just a man filming in public. But instantly, the tone shifts. Officers approach, questioning his purpose like it's a crime. He stands his ground, calm but firm, asking for identification. And right there, the first crack appears: authority without accountability, attitude without transparency.
But that's not happening, so don't worry about that.
It could, because it took you X amount of time to alert me when there was plenty. The only situation where it's not practicable at the first opportunity is if you're going into a hands-on situation. Any other time, there's no reason, and this has been dealt with in the tribunal by the tribunal that deals with the REAPER Act, that the first most practical opportunity is when you approach somebody. If you have your camera on or you turn it on, if you approach with your camera on, you should alert them when you approach, unless you're going hands-on. If you turn it on whilst engaging in a conversation, you should turn it on, and then once it's recording, so it's stated on the camera, by the way, you are being recorded for my safety and your safety, blah, blah, blah. You have the right to do it, same way that I have the right to do it. It's not a problem, it's the notification that's the problem.
Okay.
You know?
But I've notified you at a time that I think is practical, so I've done that, so it's fine.
Okay, you can justify that to a tribunal, it's fine, no worries.
So what are you
so you're going to try to identify yourself properly yet?
No, I'm happy.
You're happy, yeah? Would you like to identify yourself, or would you like a complaint as well, sir?
So can I ask you a question before my colleague steps in? So my name is PC2376.
Thank you, so that's how it's done, thank you.
My colleague here was obviously made aware that the window was open. And he's got concerns because of data protection and that you might have recorded something on your phone from the screens.
If there is anything, I'm not sure if there is or not. If anything is captured on there, that will be evidence for me to report that to the Information Commissioner's office, because obviously the onus of data protection is on the organisation, not on whoever sees that information.
You don't expect someone to stick their head through the window.
I didn't stick my head through it.
Now listen closely, because this is where things start heating up. The auditor clearly explains, this is a stop and account, and that means officers should identify themselves. But instead, deflection, avoidance. One officer refuses outright. That's not just bad manners, that's a direct hit to public trust. When power is used but identity is hidden, it sends a dangerous message: rules for you, but not for them.
Else's information, this is a secure site. Well,
I understand that.
It's not as secure as we'd like.
Well, no,
it to
exactly.
be.
It's not secure at all, is it? Really?
No. We are trying to work on that, but unfortunately, you have to do with what you've got to that.
Even a bit of signage saying no unauthorised access beyond this point would go a long way, because I do respect signs like that.
No, okay.
I did have a look around, and there is nothing there. I will genuinely
take that to the senior leadership team, because I think that is fair enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
They are trying to redo everything. Financially, we have to wait until the budget.
That's why it's quite a small town, isn't it? Lower priority. I get it. Yeah.
We get shoved right to the bottom type of thing. We're right on the borders, between different forces and that. So it is totally, I understand where you're coming from, and I'll pass it on to the senior leadership.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
I've just got concerns about the data protection that's on that video. Do you know what I mean? Because that's somebody else's private stuff and that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we obviously learn from things like that. So you've pointed it out, they've closed the window, it is really hot in there, we've got no air conditioning.
Again, I completely understand that, but obviously data protection takes priority over that, unfortunately. You can get a fan in there, and I understand, I've worked in many various locations where health and safety data protection takes priority over that.
Is that a live?
It's not, I'm not live streaming, no.
If there is something, would you...
Alright, now it gets serious. The conversation shifts to body cameras. And guess what? The officer admits his recording, but only after time has passed. That's not procedure, that's selective transparency. There was no urgency, no chaos, no excuse. Just a delay. And that delay matters. Because when officers pick and choose when to follow policy, accountability becomes optional, and that's where trust starts collapsing fast.
Delete that?
Not necessarily delete it, but I would make it anonymous. I would blur it out if there is anything, if I were to post it anywhere.
Yeah, but
absolutely.
It's not their fault, you know what I mean?
No, of course. I've raised the issue I've raised the issue of data protection, and obviously I raise it as an issue because I do see it as an issue. I'm not going to go share that information. That would be very hypocritical of me, wouldn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So if there is anything captured on the camera, it won't be made available to the public. It will be forwarded to the ICO.
That's fine. Yeah. Can I take your details?
No,
can I take your name?
No, I'm alright.
Just first name, so I know who I'm speaking to.
No, I'm alright. Thank you.
So you've got my collar number, but I can't take yours.
Yeah, but as a Crown servant, obviously you have issues of accountability when dealing with members of the public, and that's why. Yeah, I know.
Your first name.
I know.
I don't even know
I know. But then obviously
that
coupled with my image, which obviously he's notified me is recording.
Yeah, obviously we do that because I'm open and honest. You know what I mean? Yeah. We record things so that you can see what we do. And we can
absolutely.
See,
I completely agree with the use of body cameras. Completely.
That's the thing is I can't hide saying, "Oh no, I didn't say this man," or "This man didn't say anything."
No, exactly the same reason why I record any interaction I have with you as well.
Yeah, that's why we record everything. I protect my back. Because the amount of people have said we do things. Of course, we don't.
Yeah.
You know,
but with your collar number and that, obviously you're bound. You have to identify. You did it correctly verbally because you can't guarantee that I can read.
You know what I mean?
But you have to wear that for accountability reasons. That's why I'm entitled to have that, because you're dealing with a member of the public in a stop and account situation. Accountability, you have to identify yourself for that exact reason, which he doesn't seem to understand. And sorry, we got interrupted. Would you like the opportunity to identify?
4988 PC Biffin.
Sorry,
PC Biffin.
And your collar number, please?
4988.
4988. There you go. Thank you. Would you like another opportunity?
No, I'm fine.
No, you're fine. Okay, so you're just going to be an absolute idiot about it.
Now here's the twist, guys. Data protection. The officer tries flipping the blame, suggesting the auditor might be in the wrong for seeing sensitive information. But let's be real, if private data is visible from a public space, that's on the system, not the citizen. This isn't about cameras. It's about negligence. And once again, responsibility gets pushed away instead of owned.
I mean, you are.
He's got other jobs than that, and you know we have to rely.
Yes,
on
but
that.
you have a collar number for the specific reason, as we've just heard us discuss, for accountability reasons. You're making a very large assumption. I have the ability to read that my eyesight is good enough to read that.
These two officers have identified, and if you do need my details, they can be.
Okay, that's still again, that's not your policy, okay, so that's fine. I'll make a complaint to your chief constable. That's not a problem. Actually, I'll probably go straight through the IOPC because otherwise it goes to your local PSD and gets kicked down and disregarded.
That's not a problem.
Yeah, no worries. Let's get a nice picture of your face as well, so I can just make sure that goes to the right person.
Yeah, no problem.
Is there anything else we can help you with today, sir?
No. Like I said, obviously, I've made the issue of that window and I've made that aware.
Which I'm literally going to go speak to my inspector.
Yeah.
And finally, the moment that says it all. Other officers step in, calm, professional, and they identify themselves properly. Simple, respectful, done right. But one officer still refuses. Doubles down. That ego, that resistance, that's the real problem. Because policing isn't just about power, it's about accountability. And when even one officer rejects that, it doesn't just look bad, it breaks trust completely.